Hey guys, I'm Chef Liz Bramwell here with my favorite butcher, Jeff Vinaco. And today he's gonna show us how to break down this beautiful rib subprimal cut. You can get anything out of this from a rib roast all the way to some beautiful bone-in ribeyes.
So when we do rib roast, standing rib roast for the holidays.
Yep.
This is always good, this fat cap to leave on. A lot of times they'll cut this off. I like to keep this on. I put the seasoning when you guys cook.
Do you put it in between?
In between, and then put this back over it.
So you sandwich the seasoning between the fat that's literally going to soften, melt, and soak right into the protein.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Look at that. That's beautiful just by itself.
Look at the marbling in that.
Yes. Tell me anything you know about marbling in general.
Okay. So have you ever had a baked potato, Liz?
Of course.
And what do you put on a baked potato to make it taste good?
Well, you gotta start with butter.
All right, let's stop right there.
Okay.
So butter,
Yep.
right? So when you add butter to a baked potato
Makes it twice as good.
and you add heat to it,
It makes it even better.
it melts throughout the baked potato, right?
Correct.
Same thing happens with marbling. When we add heat to that, that's the butter within the steak.
Ah, so what you're saying is this melts into the muscle tissue
And that gives it the flavor that we all want and we all look for.
because fat equals flavor.
When I was a kid, my mom would always take me into the butcher shop and look for the rarest piece of meat, the reddest piece of meat, right? Because that was the best, right? Look at that nice red steak.
Yep.
But it ate like shoe leather. We'd have to put like all kinds of sauces on it to make it taste
Worcestershire was mine. I would just
Exactly.
cover it at Worcestershire.
Yes. So I always look for this. If I see marbling in the meat,
So the flex.
the flecks
Yep.
of fat, yes. The flecks of flavor, we call it at Certified English
Flex
Beef.
of flavor.
Flecks of flavor. We know we're getting a quality piece of meat.
Okay.
Now,
So this is the rib. You're calling it the
so
rib
this is
heart.
a boneless ribeye,
Okay.
rib roast.
Rib roast.
Boneless though.
Okay. So it's not Delmonico without the other muscle, is it?
Yeah, it's a Delmonico.
Okay.
It could be called a Delmonico. But that's it. Look at that thing.
That's nice. That's nice.
Can I take this home?
Yes, you can. You take whatever you want, right? When you show up with the beef, you leave with the beef. It's up to you. Tell me about this absolutely ridiculously beautiful cut here.
So that is a rib steak that would be at a retail shop, or you could hear it as a cowboy steak.
Cowboy, that's right.
And that has, the cowboy steak has the spinalis attached to it and the
Okay.
rib bone.
Beautiful.
A cowgirl steak would be without the spinalis.
No spinalis.
Correct.
Okay. So next is going to be these beautiful beef ribs, which you said you actually like to leave in a full rack.
Correct. I like to leave them in a full rack. These are actually called the beef back ribs.
Beef back ribs.
They're actually a full 7 ribs.
Okay. And they're thin, but there's still plenty of protein on here in between the actual bones.
Correct.
So that's very cool. And then we have what? Our classic holiday rib roast here, right?
With the bone detached. So when you cook it, the bone will fall off.
Awesome.
And then you can just slice it straight down.
And this is what you were talking about with actually separating the fat cap, but not separating, but kind of pulling the fat cap back, and then putting all your seasoning inside the roast, and then of course putting it back down, and the fat just melts right through it. It's unbelievable. So back here we have 2 beautiful ribeye steaks. This one here is missing the kernel fat. This here is what you would see in your typical meat case.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Give me a good spiel on this.
So this is the spinalis. This is this piece of the ribeye steak. Very tender, very, very expensive.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
And then of course, in the very back, one's tied, one is not, but they are the same muscle.
Piece. Correct.
Tell me about them.
So this is a boneless rib roast.
Okay.
A boneless Delmonico roast, it could be called.
Now you could also slice this into Delmonico steaks, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And again, it would look like similar like that without the spinalis on it.
So no here, and this would be trimmed.
We could take one slice off this.
Yeah,
Liz,
let's-
just so we can show.
Let's take a quick look. Never hurts. Oh, that's beautiful.
That's what it would look like.
And it's so nice for people to know. So when they go to a restaurant and they're ordering beef back ribs, this is that. When they order a Delmonico, occasionally maybe the server doesn't know. But the customer knows that the Delmonico is literally the center eye of the ribeye. Now, granted, it's missing some really delightful parts. However, it is what it is. Great.